Hey guys!
Hi there.
Welcome back to episode 4 of Coffee with Cody and Val.
Assuming we put these up in the order we recorded them.
Certified life and business coaches who sold everything we owned, moved into an RV, lived in that RV for a year, and learned to monetize our skills. Now we teach other people how to do the same thing, make money online, doing the things that you love, and create the alternative lifestyle of your dreams.
Absolutely.
Today, we are talking about... I don't know, I told Cody he had to start and I would riff off of whatever he said, so...
Today we intend to talk about many things, but one of them is actually... It was prompted by this post that I saw to the effect of, making fun of the pro-capitalism movement with... what was the wording? Oh, yeah. If you give a poor man $600, he spends it, but if you give a rich man $600, he invests it and turns it into millions, and there's a whole critique on that with, when you're struggling for money and whatever, then when you get extra money, it's going to go to the things that you've been short on up until this point. And vice versa is true. If you give money to someone who already has their bases covered, they can do other things with it. It's the nature of the beast. But I don't think that's a very good reason to tear down capitalism and eat the rich, because ultimately this is the best system we have. The problem is that most people don't know how to take advantage of it. We assume that if we go to school, get good grades, get a job, work really hard, things will be fine. That's not the case generally for most people. A business exists to make profit for the people that fronted the initial money. So, it often doesn't filter down to the workers as much as you'd like. And realistically, the workers get paid what it costs to replace them. If someone else will do the job for that wage, that's what the wage is. Mm-hmm. There's specific examples of individuals who are so valuable within their field that they can get paid extra and it's worth it for the company to do that. But by and large, there's 100 other people that want that job for that wage or even less, so that's what they do.
That's right. You don't get paid what you're worth or for your skill set. You get paid what it is to replace you.
Which is why we teach people how to develop their own roadmap, their roadmap to freedom, which is the program that we have.
Yes.
Also called Roadmap to Freedom.
The bottom line is that I feel like traditional jobs are not working the way that they used to. The money made, the work-life balance, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean.
What the fuck is You know what work-life balance is? When someone loves a job because of the work-life balance, that means that I don't have to be here and they don't fire me as much.
Mm-hmm. Or, they say that they value mental health and they provide programs to their employees. I say they as in a lot of companies, including one of the companies I used to work at. They provide, personal time off and access to therapists and psychologists and, different kind of counselors and stuff like that. But when it really comes down to it, they don't actually support mental health. They say they do on paper, I think almost as if they're ticking a box to be like, we offer these benefits. But
if you want to take a mental health day, it's always like, right now, it's crunch time on this project. You, the employee, you're replaceable. You don't matter, but you can't take a day off because we need you.
Or you would often see people say things like, sure, you can take the day off, but you have to find somebody to cover for you.
Yeah, what's the point of the manager? That's the manager's whole job, is to make sure the shift is covered.
Actually. So Cody and I found ourselves in this cycle of trading time for money. We felt like we were beating our heads off a wall. We were never getting ahead. I was certainly not paid what I was worth.
Not even close.
I was paid what it would cost to replace me, and we were just frustrated. And we've talked about our story before, but I think once we kind of opened the floodgates, so to speak, and we realized how we could monetize our skills, it was like we were sitting on this gold mine. All of a sudden we became aware of all of the different ways in which we could monetize our skill sets. And I think we lived behind this veiled idea that starting a business had to be complicated and that it had to take a lot of upfront money and that we had to have
special.
Yeah, you had to be special. I think you wanted to use examples of Bezos and stuff like that.
Yeah, so two of the biggest motivation, rah, you can do it examples out there are Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. And the biggest opponents to those ideas are, Jeff Bezos' parents lent him $200,000 or $300,000, and that says something about where he came from, that his parents could afford to lose that kind of money if things didn't go right. Obviously, they believed in him, and that money, he exploded that up a millionfold. It's insane. But he came from a spot where his parents had enough extra that they could do that without worrying about it too much. A lot of people don't have that. Bill Gates he worked incredibly hard. He was incredibly smart. He really applied himself for a very long time, but at the same time, he had the luck to be in the environment at the time, raised by the people that turned him into the person that could capitalize on that. You know, can I build that kind of success with what I'm doing? Probably. It's not likely, but I can still do far, far, far better than I would have if I just go to work and punch in and punch out and do just enough to not get fired.
That's right. So long as you're working in a job and you're trading time for money, your ability to earn, your capacity to grow both personally, professionally, and financially is very limited. Like you're limited to the hours that you can trade for money. You're limited to what that company can pay you for your time, which, as we've already discussed, is the cost to replace you. Whereas when you learn how to monetize your skills and you learn how to start your own business and you learn how to add new revenue streams, you begin to understand that you can stack these things and you're not capped anymore at just how many hours are in a day and how many hours can I work and how much can this company afford to pay me, because you're multiplying the ways in which you can make money using the skills and experience that you've accumulated over the years.
Yeah, if you're more of a service-based individual with tech skills or whatever, you can work for several clients on a package deal where they pay you X number of dollars a month to essentially be on call and take care of whatever it is they need taken care of. You can do that with multiple people. You can double, triple, quadruple dip if you want, and you know, it may come up where all of them have fires that need to be put out at once and you're going to be hustling for that little bit, but you can still double, triple, quadruple your income doing that. And likewise, if you're someone who works with your hands, you know, you build things, you make things, whatever the case may be, there's still ways that you can take advantage of online business models and marketing in particular to build an audience, build a following, get awareness out there, drive sales of your product. And also, if you take advantage of things like YouTube and YouTube Shorts, you can monetize that. So then not only are you not paying for your marketing, but you're also being paid by your marketing.
That's right.
And the algorithm is going through all of the work and heartache to find the people that are into what you do, so that the people that do come to you are people that are into what you do, and they're likely to be better clients.
For example, we can take the example of somebody who, you know, let's say you love graphic design and you've learned how to build websites and branding, and it's something that you really want to make a business out of. It's really easy to go get a Udemy course or join Skillshare, you know, and for a pretty low cost, you can really refine those skills and you can start to specialize in things like maybe you want to specialize in Procreate on the iPad or Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever it is. Maybe you want to specialize in WordPress or Showit or Wix, or whatever the case may be, right? You can kind of niche down those skills. You can specialize in something that's a highly marketable skill. And you can begin to monetize this in many ways, right? You can share your journey of learning and growing and all the tips and tricks that you're learning. I actually see this a lot with Canva tips and tricks on TikTok lately, which is just brilliant, where, you know, you can share these things that will make other people's lives easier, right? So people who have their own businesses that need to know how to build a website or how to design a logo or how to create cohesive branding color palettes across multiple different applications. And you can share your knowledge as you're learning and growing these things with people who need to know it. You're going to attract the kind of people who would be your ideal clients. You're going to be able to monetize yourself on YouTube, maybe a blog post, start an email list, all while you're just learning these skills. And then when you get to the point where you've learned these skill sets and you now already have this following and this potential customer base, you can then start reaching out to people. You can start marketing yourself and positioning yourself as an expert. These people have watched you grow your skill set. They've watched you churn out all of these things that you've practiced on, you know, like here's this website I created and here's this like mock company and branding package I've created. And then it becomes easier and easier to land clients and build a portfolio. And I might sound like I'm oversimplifying this, and in some ways I am. There's obviously back-end details and other things that come with this, but like really and truly, I think people think that you have to have gone to college for this design degree and spent tens of thousands of dollars having a website and marketing and advertising and all of this stuff, and like really and truly, that's not the way it works in today's world.
And everyone I've ever talked to who's gone to school for a business degree, usually it doesn't teach you how to run your own successful business. It teaches you how to be really good at running someone else's successful business, which is a problem because, you know, if anyone's going to get rich off my efforts, I would prefer it to be me, you know?
And coming back to that example, the point, that I meant to make, I tend to ramble, was that as a graphic designer, you can monetize yourself as your brand and your following, like on your social media. You can monetize yourself as a done-for-you service provider in building websites and brand design for other people. You can monetize yourself in selling courses or small programs that teach people how to up-level their branding or how to design a website. And then you can even, on the other spectrum of that, you can also do courses and programs to teach people how to do what you've now done. How do I turn my passion for graphic design and branding into an actual business? Because now you would have done that. So these are multiple revenue streams. And as you're growing, you're stacking them one on top of another, right? And you're not limited to, well, how many clients can I take on, right? You're not limited to how many hours can I work. Right, it opens up this whole new world. And this is what we teach inside of Roadmap to Freedom, is how to take inventory of your skills and experience, turn it into a profitable business model and stack revenue streams in a way that actually works, that feels good, that excites you, but also aligns with the lifestyle that you want.
Yeah, because if you want to step away from your job or just have the complete time freedom to do the things you want to do, you don't necessarily need a giant chunk of money sitting in your bank account. You just need enough cash flow every month to cover your bills plus some.
When Cody and I were looking at transitioning into RV life, initially we thought that we would have to replace our income, which is actually incorrect, because what we needed to consider is what it would cost us to live that lifestyle and be able to fund that. And fun fact, living in the city, working 2 full-time jobs, having 2 brand new vehicles, living in a luxury apartment, our cost of living was like
sky high.
$6,000 a month. And when we did up our budget for the cost of RV living, the cost to travel to and from the city when we had to, the RV lot rent, propane, stuff like this, our cost of living was like $3,700 a month instead of $6,000.
Yeah.
That's a significant drop. And when we realized that, we were like, well, that's easy to replace that income. Cody can take project-based work and make more than $3,700 a month, and he could work half as much as what he was before.
Yeah.
And so it kind of opened up like this new thought process of problem solving. Yeah, you don't always have to replace your income if you're looking for an alternative lifestyle. It's how much do you need to fund the lifestyle that you want?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because we've been told for years that you have to go to work for 40, 50, 60 years, save up a bunch of money, invest it, which is, it's still a good thing. You're never going to be in a position in life where you're looking at a pile of money thinking, heck, what a waste. But the opposite could also be true, but you don't need that pile of money. If you can have a couple of courses, a few clients that pay you on an ongoing basis for relatively minimal input on your part and minimal effort, right? It's not like a job where you have to be there 40, 50, 60 hours a week and you have to be productive and you have to be doing something. You have the freedom to do multiple jobs at the same time and use that money for whatever. But then you can also set up certain courses, like Val mentioned, to have a recurring, ongoing monthly income. And then that buys back your time to do some of the things you actually care about.
I always think it's great to have multiple revenue streams and a portfolio of things that make you money. You can do active coaching, active done-for-you services, but then you can also take courses and turn them evergreen and have funnels that help them sell on repeat for you. And as you do this, you help to buy back your time to reinvest in other areas. I think the biggest thing for this is people who are looking for entrepreneurship, people who are looking to start a business, and certainly was the case for Cody and I, is that we were just sick of having our life, our schedule, what we could buy, where we could afford to live, everything, literally everything became dictated by the job that we had.
Every aspect of my life was dictated to me by someone else, but yet I was free. I was in control as long as I only wanted to live in these specific neighborhoods because of its proximity to where my work. And there was only certain hobbies that I could have at certain times based on the hours that my boss set. They dictated when I woke up, when I went to bed, if or when I could have vacation. Because you ever notice how it's vacation request form and not I'm informing you that I won't be here because I'm like getting married or something? And
you're still limited. Yeah. Right? Like you get 2 weeks at most places. I think by the time I left my last job, it was 4 weeks a year. What if you want more time off than that?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and then even if you have that time off, well, you know, based on my income, I can only afford to go to this place for a week. And then I'm just sitting at home being like, yay.
but when you own your own business, specifically, and again, the way that we teach in Roadmap to Freedom, right? Because we're not teaching you how to do a bricks and mortar business. We specifically teach you how to monetize skills for location independence.
Yes.
Right? So that if you want to go travel in an RV, or you want to do van life, or you want to go travel and stay in Airbnbs around the world.
Or you just want to step out of your home office and go work at Starbucks for an afternoon.
Yeah, like we want to create the ultimate package of freedom. Like, it sounds so cheesy, but like when you understand those principles and those foundations and how to make money and how to run an online business and how to monetize your skills, which is fantastic because you're always learning, you're always growing, you're always picking up new skill sets, which means you can always add more revenue streams as you go through life. It creates this environment where you get to like play and try new things, and you're still fulfilling that innate desire that we all have to like progress and grow and conquer and see how far we can go, but we're not limited to like, well, how far can I climb up the corporate ladder? Do I have to wait for someone to get fired before I can be promoted? Does somebody have to get sick and die before I get to the next position? That's where I was stuck. They were like, oh yeah, you're up next for promotion, but we don't have a space available, so you have to wait for somebody to retire.
When you're stuck
or
within
quit.
somebody's rigid corporate structure, you can only move up if someone above you dies, quits, or gets fired.
You know, you own your own business and you want to give yourself a raise? Cool. Let's figure out how are we going to up our profits then? How are we going to up the amount that we get to take home? Are we going to add a new offer? Are we going to raise our prices? Are we going to take on more clients? You have so much more flexibility and control.
Or conversely, can you restructure things so that you make the same or slightly less money for far, far less effort on your part?
Yeah. I think the farther we go down this rabbit hole and the more that we learn, the more I get that entrepreneurship is not for everybody, because it's not. It is hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It challenges you personally in more ways than you could possibly imagine. I feel like if more people gave it a shot and realized how much of you and your life is put into a box that you might not even realize you're stuck in, entrepreneurship provides the key to get out of that box.
And if you're someone who's like, absolutely, I am not an entrepreneur, I just want to show up, punch the clock, do my job, rock it out of the park, and then go live my life, it is in your best interest to have more people around you be entrepreneurial and doing their own thing, because then they're not competing with you for jobs. That means wages go up. That means job security goes up. That means you have the option to be like, hey boss, I've had something come up, I need to bail for a month, and there's less competition for your job, so they're going to be like, all right, we'll figure it out, and then we'll see you when you get back. All this is to say that if you think that sounds great, I want to be entrepreneurial, I want to double, triple dip on income streams, I want to diversify my revenue, but I don't know how to do that. I look up things online, I see so much crap, it's all so confusing. There's MLMs, there's drop shipping, there's YouTube stuff, there's all sorts of things. I don't know what to do.
What's right for me?
Yeah, so what is right for you? And that is everything that Roadmap to Freedom is all about. We will hold your hand every step of the way to find out your unique business ideas. It will be personal to you, the way you want to do things, 100% all about you.
And it's a 1-year program.
Yeah.
And it's not a DIY course. This is literally like, we are in it with you for 1 year.
It's not a $3 ebook to say, hey, here's everything you need to know. You go get them, Tiger. We will actually work with you to help you brainstorm, workshop, whatever.
And the thing that I love about Roadmap to Freedom and how Cody and I teach this, outside of the fact that we are actually certified in both life and business coaching, combined with our background in finances and budgeting, is that the first thing we do is we sit down with you and we figure out, what is your vision? What are your values? What is your purpose?
Yes.
What do you actually want to do with your life? How do you want to live your life? What is important to you? Because everybody is different. And then based on these things, we can help you take inventory of your skills, your experience, figure out how to monetize them, the different ways that we can diversify and stack revenue streams. And we spend an entire year setting you up for success.
Yeah.
So the mindset stuff that's going to come up, the life stuff that's going to come up, getting your budgeting and your finances so that you can actually afford to invest in yourself and your business without going into debt, without taking all the money out of your savings. We teach you your branding, your marketing, your ideal client, how to position yourself as an authority, your unique value proposition, literally everything that you need. And it's a whole year of support. There's no way you're not going to succeed doing this. Like I feel very confident in saying that, like, by the end of this year, you will have already quit your job or be very close to and well on your way to quitting your job.
Yeah, at the very worst, by the end of this year, you'll be phoning it at work just looking for a reason to say, you know what, I'm out, peace.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to explore the wonderful world of entrepreneurship, but you felt a little timid and a little unsure or maybe a little overwhelmed, please reach out to us. We will, of course, leave the link down below if you want to check out the sales page and learn a little more. Otherwise, we always encourage you guys, like, hit us up on Instagram. We can, send DMs, voice notes, text messages, like whatever. We're more than happy to be involved with you and answer your questions and guide you through that thought process. We want to make sure it makes sense for you and that it's a good fit right now for you to do it.
Yeah. And like Val said, we're certified in life coaching and business coaching. It makes no sense to me why people do one or the other because they're intertwined. Your life can absolutely derail your business, and if your business goes off the rails, it can tank your life. You want to make sure that both of them are on track so that you can keep spiraling in a positive direction.
So that is it for today's podcast.
Yeah, we're going to leave you here, guys. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.